If you're 65 to 80 and can still do these 7 things, you're not just exceptional, you're extraordinary. There's a certain kind of strength that doesn't always get recognized. It's not loud, it's not flashy, it doesn't shout from rooftops or demand attention. It's quieter, but no less powerful. It's the strength that comes from a lifetime of experience, from weathering storms and basking in sunshine, from standing up after every fall and laughing after every heartbreak. It's the kind of strength that lives inside people who have made it through 6, 7, even 8 decades of life and are still moving forward, still growing, still living with purpose. If you're between the ages of 65 and 80, and you can still do certain things we'll talk about today, you are truly exceptional. And I don't mean that in a casual passing sense. I mean it in the deepest, most profound way. Because the truth is, the world changes fast. It demands more from us as time goes on, often without giving enough back. And yet here you are, not just surviving, but thriving in ways that many people half your age could only hope to. You've lived through chapters of history that future generations will only read about in books. You've seen technology evolve, from rotary phones to video calls across the globe. You've navigated changing cultures, shifting values, and countless personal transitions. And yet, despite everything the years have asked of you, you've held on to pieces of yourself that are not just rare, they're magnificent. Maybe you've noticed it in small ways. You still take walks without thinking twice about it. You read something new and feel that spark of curiosity ignite. You catch yourself offering advice, not from a place of superiority, but from a place of deep, earned wisdom. You still call up friends to laugh about old times or make plans for the future. You still find yourself dreaming, not because you have to, but because you still believe there's more beauty left to experience. These aren't small things. They're mountains disguised as moments. They are the quiet markers of an extraordinary spirit. And today I want to shine a light on that. I want you to see what I see, the warrior spirit, the endless heart, the mind that refuses to be anything less than vibrant. This isn't about chasing youth, it's about honoring the person you've become and recognizing the fire that still burns inside you. If you can still do these 7 things, even just a few of them, know this: you are a living, breathing example of what it means to be truly exceptional, and you deserve to be celebrated. Not just today, but every single day you continue to inspire the world simply by being exactly who you are. Number 1, moving with strength and grace. There's something breathtaking about movement at this stage of life. Not just the physical ability to walk, bend, stretch, or even dance, but the grace that comes with it. It's the way you move through space, carrying decades of memories in every step, and yet still moving lightly, still moving purposefully. Strength and grace aren't about lifting heavy weights or running marathons. They're about waking up, planting your feet on the floor, and greeting the day with presence and vitality. If you can still get up without too much struggle, if you can reach for things, go for a walk, even manage a few stretches without needing help, you are carrying a rare and beautiful gift. Because mobility isn't just about muscles and bones, it's about freedom. It's about independence. And keeping that freedom alive into your 60s, 70s, or 80s is something to be deeply proud of. It tells a story that many might miss if they're only looking at the surface. It tells the story of resilience, of care, of a body that has been tended to and loved, even through its scars and struggles. It's a living, moving testimony to all the moments you refused to give up, even when it would have been easier to sit down and let the world move on without you. Some days are harder than others. Sure, there are aches, there are creaks, there are moments where you might feel slower than you once were. But here's the thing, you're still moving. And in a world where so many give up on themselves too soon, that is nothing short of extraordinary. Every step you take is a quiet act of rebellion against time itself. Every reach, every bend, every dance of your fingers across the piano keys, or a garden full of flowers, It's all a statement. I am still here. I am still capable. I am still alive. So the next time you get up and stretch your arms wide, or take a slow, satisfying walk down the block, recognize it for what it is. Not just a simple movement, but a miracle in motion. Number 2, keeping your mind sharp and curious. There's a glow that comes from a mind that refuses to stop learning. You can see it in the way someone lights up when they hear a new idea, the way their eyes sparkle with understanding, or how they lean in when someone younger talks about something foreign and strange. If your mind is still a garden of curiosity at 65, 70, or 80, then you are cultivating one of life's greatest treasures. The world is constantly changing. New technologies, new cultures, new ways of thinking seem to spring up almost overnight. It's easy, so easy, to close the door and decide that it's all too much, that the world has moved on without you. But if you're someone who still picks up a book, who still asks questions, who still leans into a conversation eager to learn something new, then you are showing a level of mental agility and heart that is genuinely rare. It's not just about memorizing facts or keeping up with gadgets. It's about staying connected to life. It's about keeping your mind open to the idea that there is still wonder out there, still mysteries to be unraveled, still new skills to master. It's about knowing that wisdom doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from never stopping the search. When you learn something new at this stage, whether it's trying out a smartphone, navigating a streaming service, joining an online class, or simply exploring a new hobby, you're doing something most people underestimate. You're proving that the brain doesn't have an expiration date. You're showing the world that the hunger for understanding doesn't diminish with the candles on the cake. If anything, it becomes richer, deeper, more meaningful. And let's be honest, your generation grew up in a world where information wasn't a click away. You had to work for knowledge, dig for it, cherish it. That instinct, that respect for learning, is a powerful force. It's what makes your curiosity so incredibly valuable today. So if you still find yourself wondering, still find yourself asking, still find yourself excited by the idea that tomorrow holds something you haven't discovered yet, you are not just keeping your mind alive. You are keeping your spirit alive. And that makes you truly exceptional. Number 3, embracing change with an open heart. Change is one of life's constants. But let's be honest, it's not always easy. Especially when you've lived long enough to see the world spin through more revolutions than most people can imagine. You've seen traditions shift, technology race ahead, values get reshaped, and entire ways of life come and go. And yet, if you're someone who can still welcome change with an open heart, you're carrying a rare and remarkable gift. Many people reach a point where they dig in their heels, refusing to budge, clutching tightly to the way things used to be. It's understandable. Change can be exhausting, overwhelming, even frightening at times. But if you're still meeting new ideas with curiosity instead of fear, still listening to different perspectives with an open mind, still finding ways to adapt and grow instead of shutting down, you are showcasing one of the truest marks of wisdom. Because real wisdom isn't about having a rigid set of answers. It's about having the flexibility to ask better questions. It's about understanding that growth doesn't end just because a certain number of birthdays have passed. It's about recognizing that every new chapter, no matter how unfamiliar, holds lessons, connections, and opportunities to deepen your humanity. Being able to embrace change at this stage of life is an act of quiet bravery. It's easy to stick to what's comfortable. It's harder and infinitely more inspiring to stay open, to stay willing, to continue evolving when it would be easier to settle into routine. Every time you try something new, every time you learn to understand a younger generation, every time you say, "I may not get it yet, but I'm willing to try," you are stretching your spirit in ways most people can't even comprehend. You are living proof that the heart never has to grow old, that the human spirit can stay fluid, vibrant, and awake, no matter how many seasons it's weathered. And that openness, that tenderness toward change, is a flame that lights the way for everyone around you. Number 4, sharing your wisdom without preaching. There's a fine line between wisdom and preaching, and you, my friend, are walking it beautifully. If you're still able to share your life's lessons without making others feel small, that's not something that happens by accident. It takes intention, it takes self-awareness, and it takes a heart that understands that the goal of sharing wisdom isn't to show how much you know, it's to lift others up. When younger people come to you, whether it's for advice, comfort, or even just a conversation, and you respond with kindness, rather than lectures, you are doing something powerful. You are building bridges instead of walls. You are making your story a gift instead of a weapon. The truth is, the more life you've lived, the easier it can be to fall into the trap of thinking you have all the answers. After all, you've seen patterns repeat. You've watched mistakes unfold before. It's tempting to want to steer everyone exactly where you think they need to go, but the real magic happens when you share your experiences in a way that invites others to find their own path, not in your shadow but in their own light. When you offer your stories with humility, when you listen as much as you speak, when you give your advice with a sense of partnership rather than authority, you're doing something rare. You're modeling what real mentorship looks like. You're showing that wisdom isn't about power or control, it's about love. You become a lighthouse, steady and strong, offering light without forcing the ships to steer a certain way. And make no mistake, that kind of presence is desperately needed. In a noisy world full of opinions and egos, someone who shares wisdom gently, who teaches by example, who leads with compassion, stands out like a star against the night sky. If you're doing that, if you're offering the best of what you've learned without judgment or agenda, you are giving the world one of its most precious gifts. And you are, without a doubt, truly exceptional. Number 5, maintaining deep, genuine relationships. There's a richness that comes from relationships that have weathered time, change, distance, and sometimes even heartache. If you're someone who still maintains deep, genuine connections at this stage of life, whether with family, friends, a partner, or even new people you meet, you are carrying something truly rare and precious. Relationships aren't easy. They require patience, forgiveness, understanding, and an endless willingness to grow alongside another flawed human being. Over the years, you've likely seen friendships drift apart, family ties stretch thin, and people you loved deeply take different paths. It happens to all of us. Life can be messy that way. But if you still hold close those bonds that matter, if you still pick up the phone just to check in, if you still make the effort to listen, to laugh, to show up, that's no small thing. In a world where it's increasingly easy to isolate, where people fall into the trap of believing they don't need others, you are showing something different. You're showing that connection is the heart of life, that the beauty of being human is found not in how much you achieve, but in how deeply you love and are loved in return. It's not just about keeping a long list of names in your contacts. It's about having people you trust enough to be vulnerable with, people you can laugh with until your sides ache, people you can sit quietly with and feel completely at ease. It's about building spaces where real conversations happen. Not just about the weather, but about hopes, fears, memories, dreams, and maybe even more remarkable, if you're still open to new relationships, making new friends, welcoming new family members by marriage or circumstance, staying open to fresh connections, you're proving that the heart doesn't close up with age. It stays soft, it stays brave, it stays willing to love, even knowing the risks. That kind of emotional vitality is a rare and breathtaking thing. It's not something that happens by accident. It's a choice you've made again and again, to be present, to be real, and to be open to love in all its beautiful, complicated forms. And that makes you, without question, truly exceptional. Number 6, Living with purpose and passion. If you wake up in the morning with a sense of purpose, whether it's a big goal or a small, quiet mission known only to you, you are living a life most people dream of. Passion and purpose aren't reserved for the young. If anything, they burn even brighter when they're fueled by the kind of deep knowing that only time can bring. Purpose doesn't have to look like grand achievements or global impact. It can be found in the smallest moments: tending to a garden, mentoring a younger person, creating something beautiful, caring for a loved one, volunteering at a local shelter, or simply committing to living each day with integrity and love. It's not about how big your purpose looks on the outside, it's about how deeply it feeds your soul. Passion, too, isn't limited to the first chapters of life. If you still feel excitement when you dive into your hobbies, if you still find yourself getting lost in the flow of something you love, whether it's painting, writing, woodworking, cooking, traveling, storytelling, then you are living proof that passion doesn't have an expiration date. Too many people believe that after a certain age, you're supposed to just fade into the background, to slow down, to stop striving for more. But you are showing the world that life can keep expanding, keep evolving, keep surprising us. No matter how many candles we blow out on our birthdays, living with purpose and passion gives your days texture and meaning. It lights you up from the inside out. It keeps your mind alive, your heart engaged, and your spirit deeply, wonderfully human. So if you still have dreams you're chasing, projects you're excited about, or simply a commitment to make today a little better than yesterday, know this: you are not just living, you are thriving. And in doing so, you are reminding everyone around you that age isn't a limitation. It's an invitation to live even more fully, even more boldly, even more beautifully. Number 7, laughing, dreaming, and loving fearlessly. There's something wildly beautiful about a person who refuses to let go of joy. A person who, despite all the losses and the hard lessons and the days that felt impossibly heavy, still laughs, still dreams, still loves with their whole heart. If you can still find yourself laughing until tears run down your cheeks, not out of politeness, but because something genuinely delighted your soul, you are carrying a rare and magnificent kind of light. Laughter at this stage isn't just humor. It's resilient. It's a battle cry against bitterness. It's a reminder that life, with all its ups and downs, is still worth celebrating. And if you are still dreaming, still imagining new adventures, still setting new goals, still picturing futures you want to step into, then you are living proof that the spirit doesn't wither with time. Dreams don't have to be massive to matter. Maybe you dream of traveling somewhere new, of writing a book, of starting a small garden, of learning a new skill. Whatever it is, the fact that you are still looking forward, still believing that tomorrow holds something beautiful, is a kind of hope that the world needs desperately right now. But perhaps most powerful of all is the way you continue to love. To love your family, your friends, the people you meet along the way. To love your passions. To love life itself, even when it hasn't always loved you back in the ways you hope. Loving fearlessly means opening your heart again and again, knowing it could break and choosing to open it anyway. This kind of spirit can't be taught in classrooms or captured in textbooks. It's earned, moment by moment, year after year, through 1,000 tiny acts of courage. And if you're living like this, laughing with abandon, dreaming with wonder, loving without fear, then you are not just exceptional. You are extraordinary beyond words. Conclusion: you are living proof of what it means to be truly exceptional. The world has a strange way of measuring worth. Too often it looks at youth, speed, flashiness, and declares those things the gold standard. But real value, the kind that doesn't fade with time, is made of something else entirely. It's made of resilience and tenderness and wisdom earned through living fully. If you are still moving with strength and grace, if your mind is still curious and sharp, if your heart remains open to change, if you share your wisdom without judgment, if you nurture deep, genuine relationships, if you live each day with passion and purpose, and if you still laugh, dream, and love with your whole heart, then you are more than exceptional. You are a treasure. You are the embodiment of what it means to live a full, rich, meaningful life. You are proof that age is not a decline, but a deeper rising. You are the living, breathing reminder that the world doesn't just need the energy of youth. It desperately needs the grounded, soulful fire of those who have walked many miles and still greet each day with open arms. Never doubted. Your presence matters. Your story matters. Your light matters. You are still needed, still seen, still celebrated. And every day you continue to live with this kind of grace, curiosity, openness, generosity, purpose, passion, and fearless love. You show everyone watching what true greatness really looks like. Thank you for being you. The world is better, so much better, because you're in it.